Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just a dreamy, 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 dreamy.
Hi, if you are seeing this, it means my book, Everything Was Here But You, is out now. This book touches on love, loss, grief, and the weird feeling that something is missing when you're building your beautiful, big, accomplished dream life. Check it out now. I'm sure you will find something in this book that you can relate to, and I hope it feels like a huge hug. You can get it now on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Hey everyone, today I'm honored to welcome a very special guest. Hi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Harley Luck.
You are amazing, actually. Like, you don't need luck, so, you know. Do
That's
you want
very
to tell
sweet. Thank
everyone
you.
what you do and a little bit about your music? Because I know you're incredible, but tell everyone so they know too.
Yeah, so I'm an artist based in New York, and I write a lot about nostalgia and homesickness, and kind of like a coming of age style. A lot of folk and rock inspirations, I'd say.
Honestly, your stuff is like really beautiful, and I think music's good when you can like emotionally connect to it. And a lot of people I think can relate to that, especially like, you listen to music and like if you don't feel something, for me, if I don't feel something when I listen to a song, I'm not going to turn it on again and want to listen to that artist like continually. And that's something I really like about your music is not only is it good and it sounds good, it's relatable. And I think a lot of people can really like relate to their own situations when they listen to your stuff. So thank you for doing that and for really putting your heart into it. I'm sure that's hard for you because, when you put your heart into something, I know this for a fact, not only is it like emotional and can maybe trigger you and remind you of some really unfortunate stuff, but also if people don't like it, then you're like, oh God, this is my heart on the line.
Yeah, it is a balance of that. I think that the more that I kind of go through the process of songwriting and producing and finishing a song, the less I really care about the external response. And it's more so just a practice of like, for me, like, making a song, what that does for me and how it grounds me. And then whatever happens with it happens, and that's great. I can't control that, but it's nice. It's certainly nice when other people have that same reaction that I had when I was making it.
And then it reminds you why you do it. And you're like, oh yeah, cool. People do actually relate to this. I feel like it's
Definitely.
it's
Yeah.
scary because like when you do anything in the public eye, you're releasing your heart and your thoughts, and people don't always see that for what it is. And I think that's really scary. But knowing like you have people that really care about you and like what you do probably keeps you going. Have you experienced someone who's like, what the heck are you doing? Why are you releasing this kind of music? Or thankfully, have you avoided that?
Yeah, I've definitely had people like that, and I kind of just take it with a grain of salt
Okay.
because it's not going to deter me from what I want to do ultimately, and how I want to uh, pursue my songwriting. I'm not gonna change it because someone said, "Oh, this is that they don't like it," essentially. Because everything is subjective, and if they don't like it, that's fine. That's totally fine. They're
Not
not. I'm not expecting everyone to like my music. I don't necessarily want everyone to like my music. So I think that it's kind of like you can't really do it for everyone. You know what I mean? Like you can't think, oh yeah, this song is gonna be everyone's favorite song. Because it's not really how the world works, and it's good because everyone's different. Everyone has their own taste. And I love that.
I agree. I mean, imagine if everyone liked you. I think that would mean you're doing something wrong because if everyone likes you, then you're not challenging people. But if anyone hates on you, I'm just gonna pull up to New York and fight them because absolutely not. You're amazing. So that's not, no, that's not okay with me.
Thank you.
Of course. So how did you get into music? Like, what was really that inspiration for you? Was it something that you just like woke up and decided, or was it really a way that you've always expressed yourself?
Honestly, I feel like I really started getting into songwriting and like making songs, and that was really a COVID project for me. Um, I was home. I was in school at the time, and then I was home from school, so I had nothing to do. And I started producing a little bit. I started like humming along and then writing stuff down and kind of bridging them together. But honestly, I was so shy when I first started. I didn't want anybody to hear anything that I made. I didn't want to perform. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted it for me because it was fun to do. And then that kind of transformed into, wow, this is really fun. Like, I want to do this all the time. And then, wow, like, this is really fun. Like, it'd be more fun if I worked with other people too. And then slowly kind of broke down that wall of like intimidated and shy little kid learning how to express himself for the first time.
No, you're not shy whatsoever. So if you were, you wouldn't be on the podcast. So I'm really happy you're here. But I mean,
Thank you.
people were playing video games and you were making music. I love that so much. I think COVID, the pandemic really gave us all that period of time to figure out who we wanted to be and express ourselves. And I think it's really cool. You took a really unfortunate situation and turned it into something that changed your life.
That's a great way of looking at it. Yeah, I like that.
It's the author in me. I'm just giving you, you know what, we'll have to talk more and I'll give you some inspiration. I got you. But no, I just like I think it's really cool. A lot of people like especially like when you're young, they don't know what they want to do and instead of figuring it out, they just sit around and do what everyone else is doing, which is nothing productive. And I think if you want to create something, you have to really work for it and it's not going to come easy, but you have to take the first step of at least trying, you know, if you don't try, you can't be a successful musician or podcast host or whatever you want to do. And I think that's a lot of thing young people need to learn. Like, you know, like if you want to do something, you got to get yourself in the position to actually do it instead of, being scared and then staying on your couch playing Call of Duty, you know?
Definitely. I definitely relate to that. I feel like specifically this year, um, I've just been more proactive because I feel like before I was like, yeah, like, like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm gonna do this and that and it'll come to me. But then I was like, you know what? No, like this is the chance that you only have once, so just go for it and put as much as you can into it because it's not just gonna come to you if you don't work for it.
Absolutely. And like I always say, like make it first and then make it good later. Like you just have to create it, get the idea out of your brain, and then you can work on it and edit it later on. You just have to do it. Literally just do it. Nike was onto something with that.
Yeah,
I don't know. And also like the people that hate on you probably are sitting on their couch doing nothing. Like I'm like, come on, you could do everything that I'm doing or everything that he's doing, but you just are too scared to do it. Like inspire let me inspire you, not don't be jealous of me. Use me as inspiration. I think that's a really like big thing. People that aren't in our position want to hate on us because they're scared to be in our position.
yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that honestly, like what's so interesting about publicly being a creative, like whether it's artist, podcast host, author, uh, graphic designer, I feel like anything creative is kind of taking something that is internal to you and putting it in an external setting. And so it's subject for judgment, but it's also like it's cool to see a kind of like an example of someone else's brain and like what they're thinking, what they're going through and being able to take inspiration from that. So I like that you said to all the haters, just take inspiration. That's I like that.
Literally, no. It's like, why are you being jealous of someone? You should just be like learning from them and doing what they're doing. I think it's hard for people to see people that, have to show them where they need to grow to be in their position. But at the end of the day, life is short and you only have the time and what you do with it. And you should use someone else's, career or whatever to be inspired instead of taking the time to say some nasty stuff on their Instagram.
Totally.
I don't know. So do you feel like you're in a good place right now with music, or are you still kind of figuring things out? I really love your sound.
Thank you. I feel like I would say I'm in a good place. I would say that I am in a nice place where I'm just constantly creating, and that's what's that's what brings me happiness. So it, it's always nice when I have time and the space to actually just make music, whether it be just producing or songwriting or both. Um, I really like doing that, and I'm also like you. I think I'm starting to kind of lock in on a sound that I really like, which is also inspiring in itself.
I love
Before when I first started out, I was dancing around a bunch of different vibes and a bunch of different genres. But now I'm starting to really settle into what I feel most comfortable with, and so that's great. I definitely feel like I'm in a good place.
yay for that. I feel like I was going to ask you, like, is it hard to find your own sound in a, music realm with so many other artists? Are you ever scared that someone's going to be like, oh, that sounds just like, this singer or that songwriter? Does that ever scare you? Or are you like really, really confident with your own sound and that it doesn't sound like anyone else's?
I think that I personally I'm not scared of that. I think that I definitely have like my inspirations, and
Love
it's not from a place of like confidence or like arrogance of like my sound. It's just that I think that what's great about right now in music is that there's so much accessibility to any style of music that you want. And for me, like I have a very eclectic music taste where I listen to everything, and all of those little pieces inspire one of my songs, right? So there's like there could be inspiration from this band and this band and this artist and this artist, and so all of that together creates something that's not exactly like one of them, but more of an amalgamation of like all of them together. And I think that I mean it's not just me, like everybody in music, I feel like is affected and impacted by that in a really good way, where we're seeing like like decades ago, you couldn't just listen to any song you wanted. You had to go and buy the record and invest in, like, you had to pay money in order to actually listen to something. And then you could see if you like it. So it was much more limited. But now, I mean, you can listen to anything you want without paying any extra money. And I think that is really, really cool because it's just helping everyone kind of get better music taste and also more inspiration. So there's not really like one of the same exactly, unless you like are intentionally trying to copy someone.
I agree, which we should not be doing. Why are we copying people? But I agree, like, as much as like everyone loves the aesthetic of like record stores and whatever nowadays, it's like probably wasn't so cool. Now you can just go on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube and find music and listen to it like at the tip of your fingers. And I think that's insane because, like you, like I think being creative, means you really listen to things differently. It's not just like, oh, cool, this song's great. It's like, let me listen to the lyrics and the sound, and then later on when you sit down to write or make music, suddenly like all the ideas are flowing to you because you're surrounding yourself with creative like outlets.
100%. And I feel like it's never like there's always something fresh about it because like it's impossible to listen to every style of music repeatedly. So there's always something else out there to be inspired by.
I love that. I really do. What's your favorite song of yours that you have right now and why? Now I'm really curious.
I would say my favorite song is definitely Paper Maps.
No, makes
That's
me
the one
cry.
that I just put out. Well, now I feel bad. Don't
No, don't
cry.
feel bad. I cry if the sky's an ugly color, so it's not really you. It's just really good, but you got to pay my therapy bill now. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that song, yeah, that song, I wrote it about a year ago,
Wow.
and um, it was I kind of wrote it in a similar way that I started making music. It was like I was in LA, and in January of last year, there was a bunch of wildfires, and I had to evacuate. So it was kind of like when I started making music during COVID, it was like I was very like out of place. Everything was weird. It felt like the end of the world. And so I was evacuated, and I was away, and then I started just realizing that how much I missed home, and um, home being New York, not even LA. LA had kind of just been like a filler, kind of like a secondary kind of place for me, but even that didn't really feel like home. And so I got really homesick, had a little bit of a quarter life crisis about it, and then that was one of the first songs I really just wrote on the guitar with myself, no production, no anything else, just super, super acoustic. And I think that because of that, that kind of setting of just the guitar and myself, it made me be a little bit more vulnerable than I normally would be, and it made me be a little bit more honest. And I think that honestly, like, it taught me that songwriting is kind of a rehearsal for like honesty with yourself, because you can kind of talk yourself out of how you're feeling, and you can convince yourself that you don't feel this or that, but then when it comes to actually writing it down and singing about it and trying to be vulnerable, like you have to actually be honest with yourself. And that was a really important lesson for me that now I'm carrying through to the rest of my songs that I'm making.
No, I really love that music is like a mirror for you and like healing, and it's not just something that you perform. I think a lot of artists don't know who they are, and you can really hear that when you listen to their music. I'm like, why does this song sound completely different from your last? And then it makes you wonder, like, what is that artist dealing with personally? Like, do they not know who they are? And I think it's really beautiful that you have a sense of identity. I mean, I'm sure like later on when you were younger creating, you probably didn't have that sense of identity. So it's probably like, wow, holy crap, like I've grown so much kind of thing.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely I'm grateful for the journey of where I started to where I am now. And I also know that where I'm at right now is not permanent either. And it's probably gonna change. We're all gonna evolve into someone new next year, next decade, throughout our lifetime. And so it's comforting knowing that you don't really have to be um, you never have to be permanent. You know what I mean?
Love that.
You kind of just you have to be present with who you are right now and accept that that's going to be there's going to be change with that. It's temporary, but right now I feel very grounded with where I am right now, which I'm grateful for.
It's a good foundation for where you want to go. I think you're on the right track for sure. I don't know. I think
Thank
that's
you.
what's scary because it's like you grow so much and then you're like, oh, the future's unknown and I don't know where I'm going to go. But I think the person you are today really will help you get to where you want to go. I believe that so much.
100%. I like the foundation. Yeah, that's a good word to use, is that you're just laying the foundation for your future.
The little seeds, and then you'll become the tree you want to be. So when did music stop,
100%, yeah.
right? But when did music stop being just music to you and it became something that you needed?
Um, it was really, I'm trying to think, it was probably around when I learned how to produce.
Wow.
Um, because before that, it was like I was like just an edgy teenager writing poetry, and like I was like depressed, and
Well, we
it
would have
was
gotten along
edgy
great.
and all that. Yeah, like and then I was like, wait, I can like turn this into a song now. Like it's not just these like cringy words. I can actually like put piano behind it and drums and all these different instruments. And from that point on, I was like, wow, like I'm never gonna stop making music. Because I feel like before I wasn't making music. I was writing,
Right.
which definitely was the foundation. Because without that, I wouldn't really be interested in producing at all or making full songs. But then when I learned how to produce, I was like, oh my God, this is limitless. I don't have to, like, there's nothing holding me back from just making as many songs as I want, whenever I want.
Which is amazing. Like if you want something done, do it yourself. I mean, that's my
Yeah,
that's my thought on that. But do you want to kind of share that with the audience? I feel like we all hear producing and it sounds like this really scary thing. I mean, if you can do it, I feel like anyone can. So, do you want to share what that is actually like and is it as scary as it sounds?
No, it's not as scary as it sounds. I feel like, yeah,
Right? Sounds
for me,
intimidating.
like the word producing, it's not that scary, but I guess from the outside perspective, it's like producing, like, wow, it's so professional and official.
Right, I gotta
It's
like
not at all. It's
feel what
just,
I'm
I
doing.
mean, it's like this computer app basically that you can just record audio and create digital sounds, and it's just like it's just it's like the music, the instrumental of a song, like that's the production of it. So, when you hear a song and there's guitars over here and there's drums here and this cool synth, like that's all the production. And that's what I love is all the little details, the little instruments that kind of bring a song that's just pen and paper into this new territory of sound and this whole new texture. Um, it's not as it's not as scary as it sounds. It can be very complicated, and I'm not necessarily at that point yet where it's super complicated for me. But yeah, it's honestly it's just really fun.
It honestly sounds really cool to like see the development of this thing that you have been writing and recording, and then it all comes together, and you're like, wow, I did that.
Yeah, totally.
Just watch it come to life in front of you, and you're like, wow, I did that, and I produced that. That's like badass, you know? Just like, what can't you do? Just like at this point, produce other people's music. Have you thought about that or no?
I have, and I'd like to. Honestly, I like the phrase you just said, what can't you do? Because that's something that I try and be conscious about. Like I want to be able to do everything, and that's obviously a lot easier said than
Totally.
done. But I want to be a Swiss Army knife where I can songwrite, I can produce, I can do this, I can do that, and I also want to work with other people that are like really good at all those specific things, but the more that I can do myself, just the more freedom I have when it comes to creating. And that's really inspiring just to think about that, one day when I have the time and the chance to actually like master everything I want to do, like become really, really good at guitar and really, really good at piano and all of this, um, it'll be a very limitless experience. But I would like to produce for other people. That's something that I haven't really dove too deeply into, but I'm thinking about how I'm going to pursue that.
We'll do a podcast part two when you start doing that, and you can update us all. But
Oh yeah,
no, I mean you're already really, really good at piano and guitar now. What are you talking about? But no, I think that like it's really cool. It's
thank
really
you.
cool that like you are striving for better, and I think that's what's gonna make you like even bigger and better in the long run because people that are constantly growing end up going to where they want to go. Like if you stay in one box, nothing really changes. If you stay in that little box, you have to expand. And I think it's more powerful to be like a multi-faced creator and musician and talent because not only will you be able to help other people grow and expand, you'll learn so much about yourself along the journey, and you're going to make yourself even more better and not have to rely on someone.
100%. Yeah. I like that. I like how you said you don't have to rely on people
Oh,
because
people suck. No, I'm kidding.
I want to be as self-sufficient as possible.
No, especially like in the creative space. I mean, I've heard horror stories like Taylor Swift, for example. She had her music rights taken away. Like, that's really heartbreaking that power can be given to someone else and suddenly something you wrote isn't really yours anymore. So I just think like being an independent artist or professional is really amazing because not only is everything in your control, but you're really the boss. And if someone doesn't like your music, then okay, then why are you talking to me?
Yeah, it is very freeing to be like in control of everything. Um, I'm definitely grateful for that right now I can just do essentially whatever I want when it comes to what kind of style of song, what kind of how I want to release and all this.
I think that's really amazing because, no one's telling you what to do. You can drop like 20 songs if you want to, right?
Yeah,
As you should. I mean, and they're all going to be good. So, I don't blame you. Um, do you think your relationship with music is healthy, or does it sometimes come from a heavy place? I feel like you mentioned that you want to do everything. Has that ever really turned into a negative trait for you, especially when it comes to music or creating?
I think that my relationship with music is overall very positive.
Love.
I think that I get a lot from it personally, just in terms of being able to express myself and have that satisfaction of creating something. I think that I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to be better, um, or I have an expectation to just do more than I physically am able to do. Um, so I think that that's more so a relationship with myself and less a relationship with music. But music for me is really it's great because sometimes I don't know what I'm feeling necessarily. I'll go through my day and I'll feel kind of lousy, but I don't exactly know why, and I don't really know how to pinpoint what it's coming from. And then I can make a song and realize, oh shit, that's why I feel like this because I'm now unpacking all these emotions in a way that I don't normally get to. Because I don't go to therapy or anything. That's music's job for me. That's my therapy, and it kind of lets me it kind of lets me shape my emotions so I can actually see what they are instead of just kind of sitting with them and being like, oh, okay, I feel like this, but not knowing why.
I love that you just explained what it's like to be a creative person because a lot of people like don't understand like how songs and writing and things come to life, and it's literally just what you said, like a feeling, and you don't know why you're feeling it, so you write it down and start singing, and then it's like, oh, that's why.
100%, yeah.
If you're not a creative person, you just don't understand the process, but it's insane how you can be like in the grocery store or doing the most like mundane thing, and then it's like, oh, suddenly I'm thinking about something that happened to me when I was 14 and I'm really unsettled by it, so I'm gonna go write it down and make a whole song about that weird feeling.
100%. That happens to me all the time. Where I'm just like resurfacing old experiences and I'm like, why is this coming to me right now? And why is it affecting me so much right now?
And then you go talk to your therapist, which is music, and then it helps you.
Yeah,
I
my
love that. Your
computer, my
therapist
computer
doesn't
where I
talk back.
produce.
Well, your therapist does talk back. It's just you. So you know what? You have to listen to what you say, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a good way
that,
of looking at it. I like
right?
that.
It's like if you want to take, I don't know, I have a hard time taking my own advice, but like music's your therapy. So you'll listen to yourself sing something and then you're like, well, I said it, so now I gotta believe it.
Yeah, I never even thought of it like that.
Hold
I
yourself
guess I'm just like
accountable.
ingraining myself to believe it. Yeah.
You are. You're holding yourself accountable. That's insane. Oh my God. So has that ever felt heavy for you? I mean, because you're sharing some really raw, vulnerable feelings. Like when you release it, does it feel like standing naked in the street? Or is it just like, okay, like it's out there. I'm gonna go live my day and go get a coffee and not think about that?
No, it's definitely a type of uh, it's a type of stress to take something that's super super vulnerable and just kind of give it to the world because I'm not a super extroverted person. I'm not a super like um here's my life kind of person. And so it's something I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to go about because I'm a pretty I've definitely grown from my initial shyness of like not wanting anyone to hear any song of mine, but I'm definitely still shy about some of the super vulnerable stuff. So there's definitely some songs that I make and I'm like, okay, this is never going to see the public ever. Like this is just for me. And there's also some songs that I'm like, okay, like I don't really care if anyone hears this, like that's fine. And I think that both of those serve very, very important purposes just for my well-being and also my relationship with music. Because if I'm making stuff and I'm like, okay, like everything I make has to be shared with the world, then I'm probably going to have a different perspective when I'm creating. Whereas if I just, I make what I make and then I'm like, okay, I probably don't want to share this with the world, it's not gonna taint the way that I go about making music or writing a song where I'm kind of like putting a filter on what I want to say, and it can let me still be authentic and not really worry about what's going to come with the song, just in the moment how I want to pursue it.
I love that. And I think that's what makes you such a good artist because there's no pressure to release literally everything that you record. Sometimes it's just for you and to get the feelings and emotions out, which I think is really the purpose of music. And instead of abusing it to be a different purpose for you, you treat it the way you should, which is like however you feel about the song is how you're going to act accordingly for if it gets released or not.
Totally.
I don't know. Have you ever like, I feel like you're gonna laugh, but like, have you ever listened to something and you're like, someone else needs this, but like, I still can't release it because I'm scared and someone else is gonna hear this and be like, oh, that's about me or whatever.
Definitely. Like I definitely feel like there's some songs that I write and I'm like, I know that this is not an original experience, by any means. Like I know that most of what I write about is not an original experience. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it everyone has gone through, or a lot of people have gone through. But I think that for me, like sometimes it's the specifics that are like, okay, like maybe I can't actually put this out because of this specific situation, or like this specific person. Like, you know what I mean? There's a little bit more to it, so I have to kind of I have to go through it and make sure first. But yeah, there's definitely all my songs are things that everybody can relate to. Not in like a, I don't mean that in like an arrogant way, like, oh yeah, I write super relatable songs. It's just that I don't have many original experiences,
No one
truthfully,
does.
probably. So
Being a human is
yeah,
not an
exactly.
original
It's
experience. I swear, I've never had a original experience in my life.
yeah, exactly. It's not that I'm super relatable, it's just that I'm not super unique when it comes to like the things that I feel. Um, so I know for a fact that if I can relate to it, probably somebody out there can relate to it too. But unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to release it.
You're just like you're sending the positive vibes while singing it to whoever needs it, and then it's never going to see the light of day, but that's not the point. No,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think that's what makes you such a good artist. It's like knowing like you're not the only kind of artist that writes the way you do, but I think that's what makes you relatable is the fact that like you feel things and you're not afraid to put that in your songs. And I think that's something a lot of people are scared to do. So props to you for doing that.
Thank you.
Of course. No, it's scary. Being a human and feeling and then publicly sharing your thoughts and feelings is insane and scary in the worst way, but it's also the thing that's going to change your life. And we got to challenge ourselves to do the scary thing.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you feel like people know your music but don't actually know you? And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely I definitely do. It's I feel like it goes both ways. Some people know me as a person, and they don't really care about my music, which is again totally fine. I'm not gonna be upset about that.
Your music's cool, though. They
But
should,
then there's also
whatever.
people but there's also people that just know me through the music, and they don't really know me as a person. And I sometimes I think about that. I'm like, you know, my music is obviously all about my experience, but it's also not all of my experiences. And it's not all of who I am necessarily. Maybe when I have like 100 songs released, then you can maybe then it'll be more of me. But when I have only so many songs released, you really only know a little bit of who I am. Um, and so it's a weird kind of feeling when someone I've never met in the real world, but I've known for years through my music, it's like like, do you know me? Or like, or am I presenting myself uh authentically? And so it's a weird feeling for sure, but it's not a bad feeling by any means.
I love that. And I think like again, it really shows like how humble you are and like even though people don't want to understand you or really take the time to, like that doesn't bother you and you're still going to do what you're doing as a artist. And you know what? That's like amazing and it shows a form of resilience because you have to be resilient enough to say like even though I'm releasing songs and people don't understand my music or me, like I'm still going to release songs and be who I am. And if you don't want to take the time to understand me, that's your loss. I'm going to keep being me.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. It's my 10:30 a.m. brain with 2 cups of coffee. So I'm functioning pretty well, I'd say. What is something about you people would be surprised by?
Um, there's a lot. I feel like I feel like I feel like kind of going back to what I was saying about like my I guess like my online presence being different or not necessarily all of my like personality. Um, Online I feel like, you know, it's all about my music and songwriting and like very like kind of this like chill indie kind of person. But then in real life, um, I love sports. I'm very geeky, um, and like I feel like a lot of my interests don't align at all with my music. Like I personally I love football and like I've never played it, but I just love football. And I feel like a lot of people, even in my like real life, they would not picture me as someone who loves football. I'm not like super, I mean, I'm American, but I'm not like super American in that way. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right.
like super patriotic, I guess. But yeah, I love sports. I love geeky little card games and board games and yeah, a lot of stuff that I feel like doesn't really convey with my music.
Well, Harley Luck is just like us, guys. For everyone listening, you need to remember that. And I think like people tend to put artists and people on social media on a pedestal and they only see what they post, but it's like there's so much more than that. And we need to remember that no one is going to be posting their entire life or the bad moments or the little things. And it's like they're not just what you see on social media. You need to remember that before you compare yourself or think about someone and think that's the entire picture. There's more to the story. Someone can just choose simply what to put on there. We need to remember that, especially for our mental health.
Totally. I agree. I feel like I would like to be online. I would like to be more of I would like that my online presence kind of captures more of me, including my weird interests
Very weird.
and stuff that would surprise people. But like I definitely I want to kind of bridge those two things. My in-person and online personality.
You should. You should write a song about like going to a football game or something. Or go to a football
I
game
don't know.
and
I
then
don't
try
know
and
if
see
I
if you
don't
get
know if I
inspo.
could.
I feel like you will. Like if you go sit at a football game, you'll get some inspiration for a song, I bet you.
I might have to try that. I've never really been to a football game. I
Well,
just watch it on the TV.
now you have a
Yeah,
goal for 2026. Go to a football game.
I got it.
And then you'll get a good song. I don't know. I feel like a lot of like creation sometimes comes from like looking at people around you and observing. Like, are you a people watcher?
Oh yeah, I love people watching.
I do
I
too.
I sometimes when I'm in like New York City, um, and it's like nighttime, I'll just I don't know if this is weird, but like I'll just look in like all the different buildings, and see like all the different apartments and stuff, and it's like a movie seeing everybody's different each little window, in this window you have someone cooking, in this window you have someone watching a movie, and it's like you can just kind of glimpse into people's lives.
Really beautiful. Like the art of being human and the fact that we all experience things just differently. Like everyone is feeling a feeling, just a different feeling, but we all have felt the same feeling once. I don't know. It's just like insane how being
Totally.
human is so similar but so different.
Totally.
You just got a song. That's my muse for you for the day. But it's insane. It's insane. It's like crazy how like we don't really think about what people are doing or experiencing, but when we do, we're like, wow, like they're probably feeling the same thing that I felt like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, back to what we were saying about nobody has an original experience.
No one
We've all
does.
been there.
We've all been there. We've all been there, and we're probably going to be there again, unfortunately, even if we don't want to be.
Yeah.
Even if we don't want to be, we're going to be there. Do you ever feel pressure to be a certain version of yourself? And have you like experienced imposter syndrome? I feel like that is more common upon creative people.
I think that I've never really felt pressure to be somebody that I'm not. I at least I haven't, maybe people have pressured me to do that, but I don't personally feel it. Um, but imposter syndrome is definitely something that I've gone through as every artist has, I'm sure. Um, I think that the older I get though, and the more in touch with my process of making music and being fulfilled by it, the more I realize that, everybody is just a human and they're just expressing themselves. It's not anything to be like, oh, like I don't belong here. Like everybody belongs, and it's just about how it makes you feel and how you kind of create your own space for yourself.
I agree. Sometimes you're just in the wrong room. It's not that you're wrong, you're just in the wrong space.
Totally.
You can't convince a space that doesn't want you there that you're amazing. I mean, go find a space that you don't have to convince that you're amazing. They just see that you are.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. So what's like a feeling that you have yet to put into a song but you want to? I feel like this is like a really like thought-provoking question.
Yeah, I like that question. Um, I'm not a super angry person, uh,
Good.
like at all. Like I really just I don't most things that I just don't care enough to be that angry about. Like it's never that deep for me. And so I feel like I've never really been angry when I'm writing a song. Um, I've never really like dove into that emotion, I guess. And so I don't know what would have to happen for me to actually like be upset and angry enough to actually like write an angry song. And I honestly I'm perfectly happy if I never write an angry song. But
Well,
that's definitely one that I don't think I've really tapped into.
well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe if they don't have your favorite bagel or something, then you'll write the song. I think that would really piss me off, especially living in New York.
That could do it. That could do it.
Right? I'm not gonna lie. Like if all the other New Yorkers took your favorite bagel, suddenly there's your angry song.
Although I know this is a hot take. As a New Yorker, I don't like bagels, which I know is like I know it's terrible. I
Podcast over.
know.
No, I'm kidding.
I
Hang
I
up.
just I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I've had like
What?
two good bagels in my life. But
That's a
other than that, I'm kind of like, all right.
thing. What New York food do you gravitate towards now? I need to know.
Um, I feel like what really comes to mind, the only like New York food is a street pretzel. I really like those.
I'm jealous. That sounds good. I need to go back to New York now. Get a street pretzel and a bagel because
Where are you based?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, I'm in like
I should have
Miami.
asked that before.
That's okay. I'm in the Miami
Oh,
area.
cool.
Yeah. Now you got to come to the studio here.
I've been to Miami once and it was really nice, but it was so hot. I was dying. I went to the beach and I don't know I don't know what I was thinking, but I just didn't put on sunscreen and I got the worst sunburn of my life.
Oh my god.
So I'm a little bit scared of Miami, truthfully.
It's not,
Um, but I have friends down there, so I'll probably make my way down there.
you should. We'll do an in-person podcast. We'll have
Hell
to.
yeah.
No, we have to. But Miami's not that scary. The sun is, yeah, the heat is horrible. I'm jealous of New York for that because I'm like, the weather there is nicer. Even though I know you guys get snow and all that, I'm like, I think I'd trade that. Maybe I'm crazy, but being a Floridian's hard.
Yeah, I appreciate the seasons here. It's like you have a few months of everything, and it's definitely unbearable during the peak of the winter and the peak of the summer, but other than that, it's manageable.
Yeah, no, and it's probably nice to actually have seasons that you can experience instead of just heat, 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 rain, heat, whatever we got going on over here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want fall. I actually want like the real fall vibes.
Yeah, fall in New York is my favorite thing in the entire world. It's so beautiful with all the trees and like the crisp air.
Probably like good inspiration for songwriting, I feel like. Get a pumpkin spice latte. Wait,
Oh yeah,
do you like those? Okay.
pumpkin spice latte. I've only had that like once, and it
Mm,
was good.
okay. Okay.
It was good. But the fall is definitely when I'm like that's when I songwrite. Like I songwrite all the time, but like the fall is when I write songs.
Good. No, that makes sense because the weather's nice and the vibes are good and like Halloween even. I feel like you could throw some like good metaphors in there, like haunted or something, like vibes, you know? I don't know.
Definitely. Yeah,
We love that.
definitely.
We love that fall is like very inspirational for you. I feel like it's better than winter. Well, I mean, like if you're snowed in, then you also can be inspired, you know,
Yeah.
stuck in the house,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
Much not much to do when it's cold and snowy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you survived the COVID, pandemic and you became an artist because of that. So, I mean, you can handle being in your house because of snow.
Yeah.
That
I
if
don't mind
anyone
it
survived
honestly. I
COVID, you
like
can
I said,
survive.
I'm not a very like extroverted person. I honestly I like being home
Real.
alone. I yeah, I don't know. I
People are
feel like that's when
scary.
I can really yeah, people are scary, but also it's just like I love my alone time where I can just make music and write songs and like if I my perfect day would include seeing the people I love, but also the majority of it would be just being alone making music
Without a bagel. Not a bagel for street pretzel. Right.
without
Being
a bagel.
alone,
Yeah,
street
definitely
pretzel, no bagel.
definitely no bagel. 100%.
Oh my God. I gotta forgive you for that, but I love bagels. I'm a ride or die bagel fan.
I'm honestly kind of a bagel hater at this point. I feel like
It's okay.
I know
I'm not gonna
it's
hold it
terrible.
against you. I'm not gonna hold it against you, but insane. Um, do you feel like you've learned how to take care of yourself, especially through music? Has that inspired you at all, or are you still kind of figuring out like the best way for self-care? I know you said your mental health is really tied into your music, and that's like your therapy. Is there any other forms of self-care that you gravitate towards, or is it a lot of like music and writing? Hopefully, there's some like self-care in there, especially because that's what I preach.
I definitely have been trying to expand my mental health self-care. Um, a big way that I have started is by also going on runs. And
Oh,
I'm not like I used to hate running. Like I like running for sports and stuff, but I used to hate just going on runs. I thought that it was like pointless to just run for the sake of running. But I've been doing that, and that's definitely been helping me in a lot of different ways in terms of just my energy, in terms of my inspiration, in terms of just getting fresh air. So that's been my most recent kind of change with my self-care habits. But like I said, yeah, music really does play the biggest role when it comes to like therapy and just really unpacking my emotions and um, kind of going through daily because it's just the easiest thing for me to really stay committed to and it's not even it's beyond a habit. It's just it's what I do when I don't have anything to do. Like that's just what I want to do. So it's just the easiest thing for me to kind of understand how I'm feeling. But I should probably find some more self-care habits.
I'm no, I'm proud of you for the running. You didn't disappoint me with that one. It's not as bad as the bagels. I was like, okay, you know what? Because like running clears your head and like you feel so much better after, and then you have the ability to be creative because sometimes like you do get writer's block, or I don't know what it's really called when you're like singing, but writer's block. I mean, you're a songwriter too, like, and then you can't force yourself to be creative. You have to go find inspiration, and sometimes running really is that. And I think it's not only good for your mental health, but also definitely your physical health. It's a challenge and you get better and better at it, just like with music. So I really love that like you tie that into your self-care and then it also probably makes your writing better.
Yeah. And also, actually, I just realized I have another self-care habit. I
What's
also been waking up early, and that's been a game changer for me. I know like I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh my God, like I wake up early and my life is so much better than yours. But it really is amazing when you wake up early. I'm not gonna lie.
I might need some tips for that. You said you challenged me today with the pot at 10. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you know what? Now I need to wake up early because I need to anyway. So you're gonna have to give me some tips for waking up early because I'm a coffee girly, but still like I want to sleep until like, 9:30.
That's fair. I feel like I used to wake up from like 9 to 10, and now I wake up every day at 6. And that's like I have to go to bed really early in order to actually like stay committed to that. But I also find that for me personally, in the morning time, like at 6 a.m., is when I'm super, super inspired. So like I have like a routine where I'll wake up at 6, I'll songwrite, just like stream of consciousness, for however long, and then I'll go for my run. And that just sets my day up like perfectly, where I feel productive. Even if I do nothing for the rest of the day, I feel productive.
I love that. And I feel like something about just like waking up when no one else is up and like the house is quiet and like the world is quiet, it's really, really inspiring.
That exactly. It's the feeling of like almost being ahead and like alone in the same sense. Like nobody else is around. Even if like people are physically close by, they're still asleep. So it's like you kind of have the world to yourself.
Literally. You can also get that feeling late at night, but
Yeah, yeah, but then I don't know. For me, like staying up late at night, I feel like if I do stay up to like 2 or 3 a.m. working on music, then the next day I don't know, I can't do anything the next day. I get so tired.
you don't feel very you. You're like, I'm
Yeah,
a
exactly.
zombie, I can't be productive. No, that's
But
really
I understand that like that's a lot of people would rather stay up late being creative than waking up early. So I respect it too. It's just for me, this is what works.
and for sleep health, it's important to get your sleep. I'm just like calling myself out. Like I need to work on my sleep habits, but it's okay. We all have areas we can grow into.
100%, yeah.
So if your life had a soundtrack right now, what would it sound like?
In terms of like artists or
Artist.
uh I would say recently I yeah, I would say recently the thing that comes to mind is the new Harry Styles album. Harry Styles is my favorite artist of all time, and so I was kind of like I was ready to just love the album regardless, but I actually really love the album. Um, and I feel like that's definitely been every time I go to play music, that's kind of all I've been playing. So
Well,
definitely, yeah,
that brought you like
shout
up
out to
here for
Harry
me, by the
Styles.
way.
What'd you say?
That brought you like all the way up here for me. Like, I like you a little bit more because you like Harry Styles. So brownie points.
Yeah, he is the greatest in my opinion.
No, I mean, like, and that album is really like, talk about feelings that you don't think you can capture. I'm like, why is Harry Styles calling out my life and throwing these weird feelings that I've experienced into a song? And I'm like, oh, wow, I felt that way too.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song on the album? Now I need to know.
Okay, I'll give you my the tr like when it first came out, when I first listened to the album, my first favorite was Paint by Numbers because um it's a very soft and beautiful song. But then as time has gone on, I think that Carla's song is just so it's I don't know how to describe it, but it feels very
It really does.
ethereal to me. And I also I really love Taste Back. Um, I would say that American Girls is also great. I feel like now that it's been getting a little bit warmer here, I've been like driving with the windows down, just blasting American Girls, and that is a feeling that I love.
So good. The waiting game also really, really good.
Oh yeah, big time.
Not fun if you relate to it, but really good. But yeah, Harry Styles, come on the podcast. We'll do a three, a three people podcast. If he ever comes on,
Yes,
you're
let's
coming
make that
back.
happen.
Yeah, we're
Let's
manifesting it.
make it happen.
We're manifesting it. Do you know who Del Watergap is?
Oh yeah, I love
Okay.
Delwater Gap.
Okay, cool. I was like, New York, maybe. Awesome. Love Del.
Oh, is he from New York? I didn't even know
Yes.
that.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Now you know.
yeah. No,
You see
he's
him on the
really cool.
street, let me know.
Yeah, I gotta just walk around New York City and just wait to meet random people.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna collab on a song. You just don't know that yet.
Yeah, just give me a little bit of time and then we'll get there.
Yeah. No, we're manifesting it for you. Come on. I mean, you're gonna be like on the Billboard hundreds, and I'm be like, yeah, like absolutely. Of course he is.
Thank you.
Of course.
That's the dream.
I mean, you gotta dream big, right? Dreaming small doesn't get you anywhere you want to go.
Exactly, 100%.
If Walt Disney dreamed small, we wouldn't have Disney World. So,
Yeah,
come on. Like you gotta just dream big. And if people think it's stupid, then they're not your people. Like go over there. Get out of my way. Um, what are you currently learning about yourself in this season?
in this season, uh, I feel like right now with it being spring, I kind of feel like I'm defrosting along with nature. I feel like I've been kind of cooped up throughout the winter and just like making a lot of music, but kind of just staying inside a lot. And now that it's starting to warm up, I've been getting outside more, and I'm just honestly I'm really excited to I'm really excited for it to be warm, and I'm really excited to I guess just kind of be outside, for lack of better words, and really get some fresh air. Because I feel like in the wintertime it's nice to go like sledding and stuff, but other than that, I'm kind of just inside all day, so it's not as refreshing.
I agree. What do you hope people feel when they listen to your music?
I think that what I would hope is that they feel a sense of home, uh, because that's why I wrote these songs is because I was not I was feeling homesick, and so I wrote these songs to kind of bring me back to a grounded state. And so I think that's probably what I would expect people to feel, but also I'm it's such a cool feeling when someone tells you, "Oh, I listened to your song. It made me feel like this." And I was like, I don't know how you got that, but that's so cool that you interpreted the song in your own way and made it your own.
No, it's crazy that you release it with one meaning and then other people can interpret their own. And then you're like, wow, like, holy crap, how did you get that? But like, that's amazing that it's that for you, Like, I think that's really beautiful about art.
Totally.
So if anyone listening wants to do what you're doing or put themselves out there, do you have any tips?
I would say just start. I mean, like what it's really daunting to just go for it. and you have to, slowly kind of build your way into, like, it's not going to be overnight. You're going to be super in touch with yourself and songwrite and produce and all that. But just start somewhere. Just find an instrument that you can play and or learn, and then just start writing on top of that. Like for me, I'm still learning and growing as much as I can. I'm by no means a finished product. But if you don't start, then you're never gonna get to where you want to go or become the songwriter you want to be if you don't start. So just get going.
Love that. Really think like what we want is hiding behind what we're scared of, and you just got to do it. Like, hopefully,
Totally.
anyone who's listening to this, just go start your idea. Like Harley told us, like we have to, we have to now. Like, come on. Where can we find you? Where can we listen to your music? Everyone definitely should. You're amazing. So tell everyone where you're at.
Thank you.
Of course.
I am on Instagram at Harley Luck. I am on Spotify at Harley Luck. I am on TikTok and YouTube at Harley Luck.
Very like consistent. I love that. And again, you don't need luck because you are just amazing already. So thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me. This was such an honor.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Now you're gonna go like write 20 songs and I need to know about all of them.
I am actually about to like spend my day writing a song, so
Love that.
or at least working on the next one.
Good, as you should. You got to keep it going. And you know what? Like, I feel like one song will teach you something else. And if you don't like it, then you can just learn from that and write another one. You're like, okay, this one feels more like me.
Totally.
Thank you so much. This was truly such an honor.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.